Okay. Happy New Year. Yo. Great to see you, Tal, Melanie, Paige, Ellie. I saw Lockie. How are you, brother? Great to see you. Let's kick into this year. So something I'm going to run through with you all tonight is something that is like, if you really you actually get this, you'll understand that you can consciously engineer and manifest anything in your life, absolutely anything. Even Tully, you can consciously engineer the woman of your dreams and get married to her this week. But it's seriously, it's you. If you really understand the power of this, then all of a sudden anything becomes possible. And I just want to share some wins with you, because I think this group going forward, and Tully, you'll be probably pretty keen for this, and Locke and Paige and Melanie and Ellie, but I've been working in a space with people that share the upper 5%. So they share the wins. They share the unapologetic fucking epicness of their hard work. They also share the bottom 5%, which is holy shit, man, I'm struggling. I'm challenged. In the same way Paige just shared that before. And it's a quick conversation, and as a group, we can flip and we can share that, right? So I guess the point is in these BFREE training calls, action calls, community calls, support calls, whatever we want to call them for this year, let's be okay with sharing the bottom 5%, the things that are fuck, this is a real big challenge for me right now. Because when we share that vulnerability, which is the ultimate power, you put it out to the universe to find a solution. And I'm pretty sure that, I know me and Tal and Kat and Lockie and Elle, we've been in this space, even you, Mel, for a long time. There's going to be a solution there for you. So you just need to ask. And the doors are always open. So vulnerability is power, share away, and make sure that we're not in the same position in 2020 when we start these calls again. And then I guess the upper 5%, and I'm going to share this unapologetically. And Tully knows that I don't do this a lot. I don't really talk about the money, because for me, it's always been about the impact. But I started Isogenics in March 2013, just after my mum's birthday. Burnt out with chronic fatigue. I was a physio. I was trying to change the healthcare system from within, and I was stuck. And I was looking for an opportunity, one, to get healthy, and then two, to be able to have a bigger impact. 5.5 years later, I get this email, which was just this morning, after I just hosted a self-care retreat. And I was using the skills that I built with David Wood, through Isogenics, facilitator, trainer stuff. I called in people like Joel Brown, who we've been growing together for the last 5 years. I met him at an Isogenics event. If you guys really freaking get this, everything that you're doing and stepping into, and the vision, alignment, and the values you have, is going to take you to where you want to go. So it's I got this email from Isogenics this morning saying, hey, Roz, as you've heard from Kath McAuliffe, our records show that you are close to becoming an Isogenics millionaire. Will probably happen this week. In anticipation of this moment, it would be great to arrange an interview to talk to you about your journey with Isogenics, and we share the achievement as it's announced. I understand you're living in Bali at the moment, but could please set up a time, blah, 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 blah. So I set a vision 5 years ago, a vision. It was in my mind. It wasn't conscious in reality. It didn't exist. It hadn't yet happened. There was nothing this was not real for me. I was a burnt out physio who was thinking of a different reality for myself. One, I wanted to be healthy. So the whole self-care, fill your cup, learn to serve from overflow thing came from that. It came from that journey, 2 years trying to buy my health back, utilizing all these different tools, and then finding that a simple program like this, integrating intermittent fasting and high vibration plants, was a thing that took me from 20% to 80%. When I was spending thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, seeing all these experts and wizards and gurus, that was the thing. And that was the thing that made me partner with these guys and start helping them impact more people. All of a sudden, this income overtook my physiotherapy income, which allowed me to step into an opportunity that allowed me to free my location and free my time. Over the last 3 to 5 years, I've been able to build my own business off the back of this residual income. I've been able to build my dream of the breathing space created by helping people with this program. And seriously, I sat there and I was awestruck this morning because, Peter Kelly cast a vision for me and helped me cast a vision maybe 6 years ago. And I was yeah, that's good for you, but how is that good for me? You can do it, but who am I to do it? So the thing is the duplication is there. And I can see Tully's going to do it extremely soon. I can see, you know, Ellie, you're going to do it in your own way. Like, everyone's going to do it in your own way. Melanie, et cetera, Kat, Paige, Lockie, you know, but it's just a matter of like just aligning these thoughts, right? And aligning this conscious engineering with our actions and our rituals and like just fucking making it happen. And like, to be honest, I work with the entrepreneur resorts now, and I'm seeing businesses come through every single week. I say this every freaking fucking time. There's no business out there that I've seen that I invest $3,000 a year for my food, maybe 10 grand in events and some other like, you know, giving things. So maybe 20 grand a year that pays me over 6 figures residually so that I have the breathing space to build my dream and invest and I don't have to ask for partnerships. I don't have to ask for bank loans. I can cut up my credit cards and I can build this vision, this dream that's in my, like, I'm consciously engineering my mind with the integrity that it was always designed to be. Is that fucking exciting? Yeah. Because I seriously, if you get this, I share this upper 5%, not for me, but to make sure that you know at the core of who you are, that this is possible for you. Really fucking possible. So what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is the same scripting, the same conscious engineering. Like, I'm not going into skills tonight and like hustle and go and all that type of stuff. It's about like really setting this for you. Really setting this for you. And Tully says, congrats for jumping on the first call. This is hopefully that little fucking preamble, swore, who cares? That little preamble was something amazing and got you inspired, because you're probably at the same start that I was like 3 to 5 years ago, and this company's only getting bigger and bigger, right? So, Tal, amazing roars, epic. Lockie, exciting email, man. And thanks, Tal. It is an exciting conversation. So let's kick into it and let's make this about you. So that upper 5% of my story is so that you know it's possible for you, in the same way that Peter cast a vision for me, and it just took me 5 years to freaking realize it. If you can like manifest that and realize it in like 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and it's like, think about it. Thoughts, beliefs, actions, behaviors, habits, and then you start manifesting this stuff. But the thing is the thing that is most impactful on our thoughts is our environment. So make sure that this year you are being a fish in a really fucking epic and abundant and high vibration fishbowl, and keep surrounding yourself with that. You're going to go into these low vibration, dirty fish ponds, and like, yeah, you can like Tony Robbins yourself until you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof so you can survive in those, but it's just as easy to surround yourself with more uplifting and high vibration people, right? It's a choice to choose which environment you go into. It's a choice to go to the pub. It's a choice to listen to a podcast. It's a choice to like come to Isagenic's celebration in Feb. It's a choice to like have a like honest and vulnerable conversation. It's a choice to share your story in the service of others. It's all a freaking choice. So when we script this tonight, I'm gonna give you some tasks to run through. So give me 1 second. One second. So share screen. All right. So I ran through this with some with my crew that I just ran the retreat with, and it's probably the most powerful thing I could give you. And that's what I sat with when me and Tal were like chatting today. I was like, what's the most powerful thing that I could give these guys tonight? And it's this understanding. So like, we all talk about like high vibration and low vibration, like thoughts, feelings, emotions, right? So low vibration. Does anyone want to take themselves off mute and talk to me? What are low vibration thoughts? What are they? Like, how do they show up in our life?
I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm powerless. I can't do this, but everyone else can.
Yeah.
I have to be in control. I have to be perfect.
So if we have those thoughts, Elle, we think them enough times, and like, say if we're in an environment where people allow us to believe that that's true, and I'm going to call bullshit on that because you're completely worthy, you can be more abundant than all of us. Oh. And like, that's the environment you're choosing to surround yourself in, right? Then what happens when we think those thoughts enough times?
That's what you create.
What do they become?
Your reality.
They become our beliefs. Mm. If we believe something, if I actually in my core, my cellular core, I believe that I'm not worthy, then everything that shows up in my life, I'm going to react from that space. Yeah?
Yeah.
So how could we flip that thought? How could we flip that low vibration thought from here to here, to something that's more high vibration?
Finding evidence that it's not true.
Finding evidence that's not true, right? And like, yeah, we can read all the self-help books, we can do the podcast and start thinking better thoughts, right? But to turn that to actually trump that feeling and that belief, we have to find evidence, and we have to find people that have done it. We have to surround ourselves with people that just keep mirroring back that those low vibration truths are not truths, and that these high vibration truths that you are worthy, you are good enough is true. And then you start surrounding yourself with people that have already walked that pathway, and you see someone like you that's done that thing that you're trying to do, and then you start to believe it for yourself. What then happens is there's this fear and courage barrier where you then have to take action. Most people are stuck in that comfort zone by fear. They do all the self-help, they do all the development, but then fear still trumps them. It stops them from moving, it stops them from acting. What trumps fear?
Love.
Courage.
Hey?
Love.
Courage.
Melanie, was that you saying courage?
Yeah, I was saying courage.
150%. 10 seconds of courage can overcome any fear, make you like step in and have a conversation with that boy you like, or have a conversation with someone that you care about. Be vulnerable enough to share your story. You know, like be vulnerable enough to go to Toastmasters and talk. Be vulnerable enough to step into that opportunity. Be vulnerable enough to ask for what you want. That 10 seconds of courage is the difference between you staying exactly where you are this year and you remaining, you growing and ending up in this uncomfortable, this unknown zone where all the cool shit is. Yeah? And then when you're out there, you don't know where to go. So you're just using this little internal compass, which we call our values, our passion, our alignment, these feelings, these emotions, just to guide us. And then if we surround ourselves with this pot of 5 people that are in that same unknown, uncomfortable zone together, we can start navigating it. And even better, if we're in someone who's like playing in the unknown zone, like me and Talon, we've been there for a long fucking time, you can hang around us and be around our thoughts and our behaviors, and we're just going to guide you. We're not going to tell you what to see, but we'll shine the light on what you need to see, and then you can decide what you see for yourself. Then you have the self-realizations. Yeah? And then it becomes your truth, not our borrowed truth. Does that help?
Yeah.
Cool. So I just want to remind you of something. I'm just going to read out some things because I think all this like mindset stuff it comes from a lack of love and a lack of gratitude, right? So I'm going to read through these things, and if by the end of it, you don't wake up tomorrow with a different story in your head, then there's some serious emotional like purging and release that you need to do, right? So the chance of you being born, like in the first place, you, Paige, you, Ellie, Melanie, Tully, the chances of me being born was 1 in 4 trillion, like 4 to 5 trillion. The chance that I took my first breath. So from day one, as soon as my little human body took a breath, I was a freaking miracle. And the chance that my mum and dad met a 27-year-old dude, a 44-year-old lady, had sex under a tree and made me, the chances of those 1 in 5 trillion people, vulnerability, right? Sharing the truth. The chance of those 2 people meeting and doing that was probably like add another 1,000 zeros to that. So who's going to be grateful when they wake up and they take a breath tomorrow and they wake up? Cool. So now everything's a bonus, right? So we wake up every day, everything's a bonus, because from that point, everything's a freaking miracle. Now, you look up at the stars at night and we create a separation, disconnection between us and everyone around us. That person's better. I'm judging that person's story, blah, blah, blah. But in the building blocks that are in our body, if you look up at every star, they're 97% the same as the building blocks in that freaking star. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, all the trace minerals, all the stuff we talk about in our food. Bananas have 70% the same genetic blueprint as we do. So when we're talking about food, we're just matching these building blocks with our body so it can sustain itself and keep growing and keep thriving. If you look at the person next to you or the person on the screen that you're looking at, like me right now, this scruffy dude in Bali, you and me are 99.5% genetically the same. We are more the same than we are different. So when you're connecting with people, you're connecting in nature, just know that there is this interconnectedness of all things. We are more the same than we are different. So all these things, all these comparisons and judgments we create in our mind, they're mental constructs. They're thoughts from shitty environments. So we change the environments, we change the thoughts, we change the behaviors, we change our actions. And then we change the way we react to those environments, right? Average human lifespan is 71.2 hours, 71.2 years. which means that that's 623,000 hours in our lifetime. So when people when you're sitting there procrastinating, you're not doing something you love, or you're not stepping into that uncomfortable zone, and you're not growing, if you're not growing, you're dying, then just remember that. You have an expiration date. Yeah? If that doesn't create some urgency in your life, I don't know what does. Like if you are living the life of your dreams, your ideal day right now, then fucking epic. But if you're not, start stepping into that. And I'm going to help you script that out today. Your body, 37.2 trillion cells, 37.2, right? Every second, 50 million cells get regenerated and replaced. All those cells, all those building blocks come from what? Food, nutrition. Only 3% our body creates ourselves. 50 million cells. If you're not eating the right food, nutritional cleansing, intermittent fasting, like whole food supplements, tonics, high vibration plants around the world, then you're going to be building this suboptimal human vessel, which is what we see as all these epidemics we see around us, right? And it starts with a foundation, which is food, which means that we are in the freaking epicenter of massive change in this world. And Isogenics just happen to be a conscious enterprise that have got something that we can all share. It's that freaking simple. And then we start looking, and all these people talk about these bacteria and blah, blah, blah. We are 10 times more bacteria than we are cells. Fathom that, 370 million cells are living in and on us that are bacteria. So we are this living, adapting microbiome. Our gut is a microbiome. We are a microbiome. The earth is a biome. Yeah? So the whole point is really just feeding this body what it needs to be able to adapt within the environments that we choose to live in and to function each day as 50 million cells replicate themselves every single second. Yeah? And 70% of us is water. So when you're talking about nutritional cleansing, make sure you're talking to people about water. Oxygen and hydrogen, hydrogen and oxygen are two of the most important elements in our body. Why do you think Wim Hof is so freaking important at the moment? Oxygenation of the body. Yeah? Oxygenation. Why do you think water is so important? Everyone's getting Kangen waters and all this type of stuff. Because 70%, that is oxygen and water are the two key building blocks for our human vessel. And what we add in is the rest. Yeah? Freaking cool, right? All right. So everyone cool? Double hands up just so I can see you listening and I'm not just talking to myself on the screen. We're all freaking miracles. Tomorrow's a bonus. And we're doing some really cool shit this year. Yeah? All right. Now, next thing. Daily rituals. You need to be the freaking change you want to see in the world. Don't do this. Don't get up and look at yourself in the mirror tomorrow and start telling the world what they need to be if you haven't honored every single choice you made for yourself. If your human vessel is not energetically showing up as a thing that you want to help people become, then take 30 days and just fucking go nuts on yourself. Stop trying to save the world. Just go all in and make that commitment, that one focus to yourself. Then guess what? You'll start energetically showing up different. People start reacting to you different because your actions are different. Your words might be the same. If your actions are different, all of a sudden people start to notice, people start to watch. But if your words are the same and your actions aren't, people just switch off. So if you're not getting messages back, you're not getting these things, it's because you're talking the talk without walking the walk. And it's just just step into it and focus on you. And it is okay to do that for 30 days. You've got another 11 months to start saving the world and helping the people around you. Yeah? And the thing is, once they start doing it, once you start stepping into that, you can invite people to come and do it with you. You can honor your own vulnerability. Hey man, I've been a little bit off, I'm trying to help everyone else. I was a health professional, lost my health. I had to step back, look at myself in the mirror, and I had to take a hiatus for a year and be Roz, you can't help anyone unless you can help yourself. It took me 1 year. I'm not saying you need to do that, but it's you can do that in 30 days. Saturate, mostly plants. We live that truth, man. This is our business. We are teaching people to get those 97% of building blocks in every day, to regenerate those 50 million cells that are coming to their body. So we need to be doing that. We need to be minimizing harm. I'm not saying don't drink coffee, don't drink alcohol. Healthy moderation is sick. Blue zone communities, the longevity is beyond 85 years. They die of natural causes. They drink red wine. They have a bit of fun. They believe in the 80-20 rule, right? So that's okay. Honor your choices though. If you're 70, 30, 60, 40, again, people aren't going to listen to you when it comes to energetically changing their human vessel, right? However, going out and connecting like that, you might meet people that you can serve and you can help. I've met so many people like out on a Friday that are people then like, hey man, let's do a detox together. Social media. There's this concept of being, I'm talking habits because it's like thoughts, beliefs, actions, behaviors, habits become who we are. So I'm working back from habits, like thoughts to habits, and then changing in between. And then we're going to script some new thoughts. I'm going to paint a new vision, right? So habits. Average person spends 5 hours on their phone. My phone got stolen 5 days ago from my villa. Best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing that ever happened to me. I spent 0 hours on my phone over the last 5 days, and funnily enough, all this cool shit starts happening. Because I've gone from being, when you write this script, you're going to be the author of your story. Shit that hasn't even happened yet. And then you're going to be the actor in that story. Then you're going to be the director, directing and pivoting as plots change and challenges happen, right? And then you're going to step back at the end of next year and you're going to be the witness, and you're going to be like, what did I actually do that year? In the same way, you're going to look back on 2018 and say, what did I do that year? Am I any bigger, any better? Have I grown? Have I gone backwards? Am I higher vibration? Am I lower vibration? But what most people do is they're the viewer. They're the person sitting in the audience watching the movie, passing judgment, comparison, flicking, trolling. Oh, that's nice for them. Cool, cool, cool. But I really want to do that. But I don't want to change my thoughts. I don't want to change my beliefs. I don't want to change my actions. I don't want to change my behaviors. So if you feel right now that you're the viewer, you're the person watching the movie, it's time to step into it. And that's what this scripting is going to be about. You're going to script your movie for this 2019. And you're going to choose whether you finish up in high vibration or low vibration. You're going to choose how many people you want to impact. You're going to choose if you're going to be the high vibration person that attracts these people. Yeah? So Tully had a great example of this. He said, I'm going to marry Kat by this date. A what by when? Didn't know the who, didn't know the how. That all showed up. So for you with your business, and also it was like this arrow was like balanced by this fucking strong why, like a really, really strong why. I'm going to do this what by this way. I'm going to marry this beautiful lady by this date because I really fucking love her. And we have this emotional connection and so on and so forth. Yeah. And then the who and the how showed up. Mum stepped in, you know, the venue rocked up, the strategy, how do we get married? Fuck knows, but it's all going to happen. It's all going to come together this week. So if you are not setting what by when, so you're not setting promotions, projects, events that are actually going to happen. When are you going to go exec? When are you going to help 2 people? When are you going to help 10 people? Set these dates, write them down on paper, and then ask for support, like the who and the how. Like we were talking with Paige before, she's like, oh, I've got all these people interested, but I can't get them over the line. And I'm like, are you open to seeing what the challenge is? And she's like, yeah, well, I can't sign them up. And I'm like, what about if you got them on a call with me and I had a chat with them? Do you reckon that would get them over the line? She's like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, well, what stops you from asking me? She's like, well, I'm scared of asking for support. So the fear is a thing that's keeping us stuck. The fear of asking for support and trying to do it all herself. And then I said, well, the door's open. You got permission. You can connect with me whenever you want. But she's still going to have those fears when she messages me. However, she's going to have 10 seconds of courage next time, and she's going to message and say, hey, can you chat with this person, so on and so forth, or Tully or Paige, or wherever the flow is, right? Because we're busy. If we don't answer, it's not because we don't love you. It's just because shit's going on in our life, right? And you just need to find the traction and the flow and the ease so that you can help people have their own informed choice. So set a what by a when and set a why. So maybe on a piece of paper right now, if you want to get to executive, you want to help 10 people, help 2 people each, 30 people total for the year, which isn't that fucking hard. Write it down on a piece of paper. Like literally write it down on a piece of what by when. And then the who and the how. The how is like pretty easy. The strategy, the compensation plan is like foolproof, right? But then you just got to go out and find the who. The who might be who do you know? The who might be who do they know? It might be you help someone and you ask for referrals. It's like there's this like interconnectedness of all people, but you just need to make sure that the people you help get a really positive result. They feel better and they want to refer people to you. But then you have to have the 10 seconds of courage to ask them for referrals. How many people have you already helped and not asked for referrals? Yeah? It's not who do you know, who do they know? You've already got trust. I know, even everyone on here, I know you do. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to start looking going, well, okay, there's past, there's present, and there's future. So the first thing we need to do for 2018 is make peace with the past. Is everyone cool with that? Imagine if you went through your Instagram, went through your social media, went through your mind, and you looked at every single event that's happened from Jan 1 last year through to December 31, and you started being grateful for it. Breakups, okay, cool, what I learned from that. Success, yeah, that taught me that I was on the right path. There's all these things sending you in this direction, and boom, it teaches you a lesson, it catapults you back in the right direction. If you learn to be grateful for the breakups, the forgiveness, all that type of shit, then all of a sudden we can start reframing. We can finish 2018 on a high vibration, take that into this year. But if we're still replaying past stories when we wake up tomorrow, we're not having that first breath and realizing that we're a miracle, then we're going to keep playing out the same stories, because those thoughts are so freaking powerful. They're going to unconsciously just take you back to the same things, the same reactions, the same fears, the same lack of self-worth. But there's going to get to a point where you start to change that. You start to choose different environments. You start to choose different people to hang around. You start to choose different people to serve. You start letting go. You start forgiving, right? And then you can just like release and just be like a balloon and really like just fucking catapult into this high vibration stuff. And I'm saying this from like absolute truth. And I'm not saying I haven't been down here. I've been down here a lot. And I, like you too, Paige, I didn't ask for help. I tried to figure it out myself. But as soon as I started asking for support, guess what? People had the answers for me. So first activity, and I'm going to post this up in a BFREE group, or you can take a snapshot now, but we're going to make peace with 2018 if you have not done this already. You might have seen something I posted up on Facebook the other day. Arguably the most powerful thing. We just try to keep on getting on without like tying up all the loose ends and really, really acknowledging what's happened in our life to this day. Because realistically, everything that has happened has got you to this point, like right now, which is fucking epic. You're on this call, we're healthy, we're in 2019, we've got the opportunity to consciously engineer anything in our life from here on. Pretty epic, right? And the first day we took a breath, we're already winning, right? We're already a miracle. So all that stuff is just the game of life. So write these 3 things down. So this is for 2018. And script this, like go spend tonight or tomorrow or this week, like set a what by when. Maybe I'm not going to tell you when to do it. You're going to, by Friday, I've made a piece of my past for 2018. I've celebrated it and I've fucking burnt it. Whatever it is, whatever ceremony you want to do, you can do it with some friends. It's freaking powerful. Write down every single thing you're grateful for in 2018. Write down everything you forgive, even yourself. I forgive myself for not stepping into my power. I forgive myself for lacking self-love and self-value. I forgive that person for taking me down the wrong path. I forgive that person for blah, blah, blah. Yeah? Forgive those things because it's like it's a release. And then you let go of it. I let go of needing to know. I let go of having to do it all by myself. I let go of trying to be the messenger. I let go of all these things, right? And then just let it go. And then at the end of it, call in what you want for 2019, which is being courageous enough to ask for what you want. Being courageous enough to ask for what you want. Yeah? Has everyone written down those 4 things? Yep. Okay, that's task 1. That's past. We need to make peace with the past, otherwise we're not going to be able to catapult this elastic band forwards, right? This is something that we did on the weekend. You can see Jodie McFarlane. She's actually in this group as well. And I'm going to get her to share her story and be well. Freaking powerful. Mother of 5 kids, autoimmune disorder, opened a plant-based cafe to help her health, sold it. Guess what the thing was that helped her go from 30% to 70%? This freaking program. Intermittent fasting, high vibration plant. Yeah? There energetically is something freaking epic going on with your ground body. And all we have to do is share that with the world. And help them integrate that whole food, active lifestyle. We're not saying this is the one-stop solution, but like look at this now. We're working through this program. We're working in our mind together. We're constantly engineering. There's so much more to this, guys. I really wanted to see that and feel that. Yeah? So anyway, long story short, they burnt it, they purged it, and it was like, that was them letting go. Heather's just, she's got her own little dance, Jade's doing her thing. However you do it, right? Doesn't matter. Next task is we're going to script what this year is going to look like, because this is the biggest thing. Like, and it's probably the number one thing I can share with you is this concept that we think we're a passenger to this human experience. We think that we're a passenger to the human condition, yeah? But the truth is that 95% of who you are right now is within your control. Only 5% of you is deterministic by your genes and your birthright. But let's be honest, we're all born in Australia or a developed country. So again, we're really fucking lucky. Lucky when we took our first breath, lucky to have the golden passport to be born in Australia or one of these developed countries, right? Nothing to complain about. We've made peace with the past. Next year, like we're going to consciously engineer. We're going to be the author of our story this year. We're not going to be a passenger and let ourselves react and be the viewer to all this other shit that's going on. We're going to raise our vibrations, raise the people around, raise the environments for around, and we're going to script something for this time next year. So when you write this is the journal entry for your life 1 year from today. Take 30 minutes, take an hour, take a whole day. and go somewhere that, you know, you want to dream. So we can bring this dream into reality. Put yourself 1 year in the future, visualize where you want to be and what you have achieved. Like you're visualizing what you want to achieve. And then basically you add in a bit of detail and like utilize the 5 senses. Like when you wake up on your ideal day, like where are you? Who are you with? This is fucking scary, right? But I visualize I'll be living in Bali in a villa. I'm living in Bali in a villa. I'm on a boat. But do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying that to impress anything upon you. It's just like, I want you to like know to your core that this is fucking possible. Really, really possible for you. Anything is possible. Like if I showed you my vision board, I had a picture of a villa. I didn't even know this thing existed. I went on a random surf trip after I broke up with my girlfriend, met a dude on the yard. He said, oh man, I've got a villa next door. Do you want to move in? I was like, whew, epic. Moved in, had this weird sense of deja vu. And I was like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, you know, do you want to stay? I was like, sick, I'll take over the lease. And then I was packing up my stuff back home, brought out my vision board, and there was a photo of this freaking villa that I put on there 2 years ago. Totally forgot about it. And I'm going to show you some other stuff that I forgot about to show how really powerful this task is. Like this, and this is complete vulnerability, right? I haven't shown many people this stuff. So this is the vision, the same document, same vision I wrote in 2016 for 2017. So June 30th. I went through and highlighted in green at the end of that year, everything that came true. Green, green, red, didn't happen. Orange, kind of happened. Red, didn't happen. Green, green, green. Orange, red, All these things freaking came true. Yeah. I was talking about being modeling entrepreneurs and hosting a retreat from a health point of view. I did that last week. It took 2 years longer than expected, but it still got there. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And there's things that didn't come into fruition and they weren't meant to. My time is free. 2017 is the time that was when I made enough income to be at enough, which for me was like 60 grand a year for me and Chelsea, my partner at the time, and to pay off all the bills. So all of a sudden I was getting this residual income where my time was free. Like my time was free, like the most fucking valuable resource in the world. And it's like, well, what do I do with this like time now? I'm like, I don't know, I've got 168 hours in the week. What am I going to do? I'm like, I keep building the business and I keep doing that. But then I was like, I've got this creativity. I've got this breathing space to like bring that dream into reality. So I started building it, started writing the book. I started building the platform. And then all of a sudden the book's done. The platform's done 2 years later, 3 years later. So these are things I was consciously engineering like 3-4 years ago. So like, just think about like, if you start doing this for you now, what's going to happen next year? Tal, do you want to add something?
No, I just saying, can you go through those headings for us? Because when it was on the slide, it was a bit small and I couldn't read it. So could you go through? I'll give you the document, and again, they're just questions. So I did this thing with Joel, and he's talking about a 10-year vision. This is only a 1-year vision, right? But you can extrapolate that to 10 years if you want to be that courageous, and you want to talk about the type of person you want to be with, where you want to live, all that type of stuff, right? But just maybe start with the 1-year thing. It's not that daunting. Maybe push it to 3 years. What's that quote they say? It's like humans underestimate, or we as people, we underestimate what we can do. We overestimate what we can do in 1 year. We underestimate what we can do in 3 years. So I way overestimated what I was going to do in the first year. But funnily enough, 3 years later, all that stuff has happened. So this is 2017, did the same thing, wrote it again. Just notice how much of my page is green. Now remember, none of this had happened yet. None of this had happened. So when I was writing it, none of this had fucking happened. And then same time next year, I totally forget about it. And I go and just like, I'm like reading this thing. I'm like, that's pretty, what? And it's like, even to the point of blah, blah, blah. I talked about a partnership with my ex-girlfriend that was breaking apart. It taught me to be who I was truly meant to be. I talked about setting myself free to follow my passion unapologetically. A breakup. I talked about a breakup as being something that set me free to follow my passion. I didn't see it as like a negative experience. I got nothing but love for her. It taught me what I needed to do. It grounded me for long enough to write the book. And it was like, that event was perfect as it was. And I chose to be there. I chose to put myself in those situations. So I take complete ownership for it all. Yeah. My family, my brother, my like health, like, you know, abundance, personal cash flow, more than enough, blah, blah, blah. And then there's orange stuff that kind of happened. Green,
Notice how much red. Like I launched the Fill Your Cup platform, the self-care book and framework. None of this had happened yet. This was just writing on a piece of paper. The next thing is integrated health, like institutes and like clinics. And that's something I'll probably do in the next 2 to 3 years. So these things have not happened. I really want you to get this. When you're scripting this, you're scripting the story. You are actually scripting what is going to happen next year. Yeah, and I haven't finished highlighting that. But just notice how much is green. It is like uncanny. And I don't know, does anyone want to comment? Does anyone have a vision board or something that they've put up and things have come true?
Hey, Roz, you just you sent me mine and I've written it all out like on paper. I just haven't gotten to typing it, but I'll type it up and I'll shoot it through to you. But I've done all my pictures as well. Of kind of there's my Bali picture and everything. So I just need to put it on a bit of paper. So yeah. But my first vision board. And you couldn't believe that. I'll offer you an opportunity
for Bali now, man. If you want to come to Bali next week, you've got a room, like you can stay right there. So this is the thing, like straight away, Rocky's told me what he's looking for and what he wants, and I've offered him an opportunity. This is how fucking powerful it is. You start calling in what you want, you start asking for it, you start speaking that truth rather than thinking it and like just holding it to yourself, shit fucking happens. So Locke, do you want to come hang out in Bali this year?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Epic. Tell me when you're coming over. You got a room.
Awesome.
Consciously engineered that just then. You did that by asking, like by being vulnerable enough to talk about that.
Tick that off.
Yeah. Done. Okay, cool. Next one. All right. So, sorry, you go.
I was just saying, you got a Range Rover that, in Melbourne that I might be able to drive around at all, or?
I don't know. Put it out there though, man. Someone probably does. Someone might know someone that's Range Rover. Now it's in my consciousness. I might know someone that does, and when it pops up, I'll be like, "Oh, I'll chat with Lockie."
All right, sweet as.
Yeah. Maybe someone else. Does anyone else know of a Range Rover in Melbourne for Lockie? No. All right. Let's hold that space. Okay. So, Tal, on this document, just so for clarity, so the first question is, you say, say it's the date is Jan 5th, 2020. I'm so grateful for the last year. So you're talking in hindsight for something that hasn't happened yet. All the things you've achieved. My ideal day, like I wake up, I'm in Bali, I wake up in my villa, I walk down to the beach, I surf at Barawa, I come back to Peloton, I enjoy like a really cool smoothie bowl, and then I go do, something creative, I write in my journal, so on and so forth. And then I'm working on my passion and purpose in the afternoon, building for the next event and so on and so forth. Like that's what I've actually written about my ideal day. I'm sharing it with this beautiful human. And this is fucking funny. I scripted the type of girl that I wanted to meet after I broke up with my last girlfriend. And the 2 previous girlfriends before that taught me what I didn't want, but also taught me the traits that I did want. So I wrote this thing out. I met that girl 7 weeks ago. And it was just like this soul connection, man. And I knew I was looking for her. I didn't know how she'd show up. I broke my hand. She asked me if I broke my hand. We started chatting and I was like, boom, that was it. Been inseparable for the last 7 weeks. Again, sharing that with vulnerability. And I read her out the script. She was in tears because like 90% of the points that I'd scripted about the type of person I was looking for was her. Like this is how fucking powerful it can be. And if we're not consciously engineering that, when we're passively allowing for all this other shit to come into our life that we don't want. So the power of doing this is so good. The ideal lifestyle, my health, my mind, my energy, like my mind, I'm in high vibration. I'm surrounding myself with 5 positive people. I'm getting out of those dirty fish ponds. I'm choosing to be in environments that serve me. I'm growing. I'm going to events. My energy, like my food, my body, my spirit, my work, my personal cash flow, my personal wealth, my reputation, my business. And you can link all these things in with your opportunity with Isogenics. I'm going to help 10 people. I'm going to do this, blah, 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 and make it really specific, right? Now, that's cool. So just a quick show of hands. Who is keen to do those 2 tasks? Make peace with your past and then consciously engineer the story for this year. And then once you've done it, you just get to be the actor and the director. And then at the same time next year, you can step back and you can witness and you can highlight what came true and what didn't. Sound good? All right. Now, in between that is 12 months. So there's some like rituals and some things you're going to have to plug in to keep remembering this. Because as soon as you get off this call, you're going back into that fish pond, whichever one you've chosen, a dirty one, a clean one that high vibration, low vibration. So you're going to forget this stuff really quick. So is it cool if I give you like 1, maybe 2 tools, you choose them, and it'll just help remind you for this every single day? Yes, no? Yep, you all want it? Okay. So here's 2 things I'm going to give you. Now, you might have your own, but I'm telling you that these 2 things unequivocally work. So 10 questions. This is taken from Peter Kelly stuff. It's taken from Vishen Lakhiani and Mindvalley. It's taken from Roger Hamilton's 8 questions. Funnily enough, they're all the same freaking questions. What am I grateful for? I wake up tomorrow. What am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for yesterday? What do I appreciate growth? I appreciate my Isagenix income because it's going to grow. I'm going to water it like a flower. Who do I love? Myself, the people around me. Why am I so happy? Because, I don't know, maybe you did something that made you happy. What's that little thing that made you smile? You're writing down these things. You're triggering your mind to go high vibration, happiness, love. These are all high vibration thoughts. What am I most committed to? Stepping into it. What are you going to have courage to step into and trump that fear? How committed am I? Like, ask yourself the question, like, yeah, I want to do it, but am I actually courageous enough to overcome that fear? I'm just going to stay in my little comfort zone because it's comfortable here. What am I most proud of? Blow your own trumpet. Talk about the upper 5% for yourself. Share it in BFREE. Share it in whatever group page you're in. Share your results, your wins. And do it from the place of doing it to celebrate yourself, but also to inspire others. Yeah? We cool with that? What is my intention? Intention. Where focus goes, energy flows, right? Focus goes, energy flows. So like I said, if you're not being that energy for the attraction that for this type of opportunity, for wealth or for the mindset or for the health, then it's like spend the next 30 days and like your intention is to like be that. Yeah? And then what is your one magic wand wish? This is like imagine there were no social constructs, no mental constructs. Imagine like we didn't have all these limiting beliefs. Imagine like you could call in whatever you wanted. And now this is freaking scary because I've had times where, like, say for the retreat, I said, in 3 days, I said, I want to get 5 amazing mentors for each of the paradigms of health. I called up Michael Klim, dual Olympic gold medalist, Joel Brown, who's got over 100 million followers and addicted to success, unstoppable family. They got 6- and 7-figure businesses. Di Manuel, I met him at an event that I host. I stepped in and got uncomfortable and did a self-care event. He met me. We stayed connected. All 5 said yes. No resistance. I asked for it. In 72 hours, I went and asked the world for it, reached out to these people, and then boom, next thing I've got a retreat on within 4 to 6 weeks. And this is like, even to your own life, it can be that powerful. To your Isagenix business, that powerful. To the next big thing, even more powerful. Yeah? And then you ask the why am I here question. Why do I get out of bed? And that's just reconnecting you with your higher purpose. For me, it's good health and well-being for all people at all ages. It's to make sure that we can live in the blue zone together and live in communities together. Yeah? Sorry, Tal, are you there? Or someone talking?
Yeah, so just love these. From a practical standpoint, do you write these out? Like, do you have a little book where you write these out, or do you just go through the list and go through it mentally each morning?
And you got to write it out. So I'm tech. You know, like I've done the scripting, the writing. Like, yes, I agree that's powerful, the neurological processes. But I live with like my laptop. That's my thing. So I'll show you. And again, I'm going to be completely honest. Like, there's nothing to hide. So this should fire up. And daily questions. So all I've done is I've copied and pasted this into here. I've been doing this for, I don't know, forever now. And yeah, there's times where I don't do it, you know, that's fine. Like, but I also notice that my thoughts go into low vibration a lot more when I'm not doing it. You know, this is a daily ritual. I know when I'm doing this, man, like I start manifesting some crazy shit really quickly. If I get like 21 days in a row, I'm like, holy crap. And the flow on effect for that is, I can't even measure it. Like, what's the measurable thing of like calling in all those things and then hosting a retreat and then like stepping into your power? Like, I don't know what ripple effect that's going to create. So, sorry, my Evernote's just doing its thing. So here it is. Yeah, so this is one thing. So showing up. So it was like daily question. This was 10th of the 1st. So this is one of the ones I did. So what am I grateful for? Freedom to work from crate. Who do I love? I love my mom. I love my imperfections, right? No's, blah, blah. So like maybe there's something in that day where I was like thinking I wasn't good enough, right? Why am I so happy? I'm listening to music, working from my computer on 2 projects that I'm passionate about. This is in the moment. What am I most committed to? iHealthy Startup, Self-Care, Food Cup, Be Well 100, BFREE 10, right? How committed am I? Ride or die. Like I was like, I'm in. Like, and it's This is like my level of commitment, right? My intention, 6 hours of focused work. What is my one magic wand? I wish to be debt-free personally, reach the pinnacle of leadership within my ICD enterprise, help 10 people. That was my thing at the time. That was my focus. It might be yours too. Why am I here? To be healthy, to go first, and inspire health, happiness, and connection in a unified and sustainable existence. That's what I'm writing every single day, every single day. Next day, something else. What am I grateful for? The freedom, abundance to fly home for my best mate's engagement party, to make decisions, to have choice, friends to pick me up from the airport. Like, I'm just acknowledging all these things. I'm like, these are not givens in life. Yeah? I start appreciating all these things, right? Cool. Why am I happy? I was listening to music. Music is my medicine, man. I'm just sitting there probably bopping away listening to some tune, right, that I heard on Spotify. So this is a really simple way to do it. Like, you just copy and paste that template, put it in Evernote, and then every day, like, I go have breakfast, and then I write this out. It takes me 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes me 20 minutes. And then I might listen to Omvana as well. So that's the other thing I want to give you. So that's the first thing, 10 questions that you can do every single day to keep you in that high vibration, keep you linking back to the future vision that you're going to create. But then, we need to go into the unconscious mind, because that's just conscious mind. That's the thoughts. It's not going deeper, right? So I want everyone to write this down. Go into your app right now, and on your phone, download something called Omvana. Omvana, O-M-V-A-N-A. So this is an app created by Vishen Lakhiani, who founded Mind Valley, and he talks through 6 phases, and it runs through those 10 questions. But you run through in a meditative state. It takes 20 minutes. For 1 year, when I was going through my biggest dip, I think I listened to this like 70% of the year, every single day. And I wasn't a meditative type, but I just sat there and I listened to it. And it asked the same questions. And then someday it just went like fucking deep into my mind and just rewired all that shit. Yeah? So Omvana, 6-phase meditation. So now you've got this, you've made peace with your past. Task 1, write your future vision. Be the author of the best fucking story. No restrictions this year. None. Yeah? No restrictions. No bullshit. Like, don't limit yourself, right? There's people like you that you are with less skills doing 10 times as much. So do not limit yourself. And then you've got these 10 questions that you can wake up with every day and just keep reinforcing it. Stay in that high vibration. Stay in that high vibration. If there's some unconscious shit that's really limiting you, Omvana app, 20 minutes a day. Do it for 21 days. 21 days to break a habit. It takes 90 more days for it to become sticky. Yeah? So who's up for that? For like fucking creating this mindset where you guys can do absolutely whatever you want this year. Yeah? And we all know this stuff. We all know this stuff. It's just we got this beautiful moment. We got this beautiful moment, and I assure you, I hope this isn't the case, but there's only 20% compliance with this stuff. So you make a choice right now as to whether this just becomes another thing that you listen to and don't action on, or another shelf help book or something that you buy and you don't actually implement. More thoughts, more beliefs, but no action. Or you trump that and that right now. You have 10 seconds of courage. You go write those 4 questions, burn it. You write out your future vision over the end of this week. You be accountable to what by when in the group. I'm not gonna post a thread. You just say it, or don't, or say it to someone that you're accountable to. And then you choose to wake up tomorrow and ask yourself those 10 questions, or you choose not to. You choose to plug in the Omvana app and rewire all that unconscious shit, which is keeping you where you are, or you don't. But don't get to the end of next year with regrets or blame or victimization. That is not what this crew is about. Blame, if you look here, fear, grief, blame, like all those things are the lowest vibration thoughts. So if you're falling into this Omvana app, you have to do. Like, it's 100%, you have to do it. Yeah? All right, cool. Task 1, task 2, past, future vision, 1 daily ritual, 2 daily rituals. Do one or both of them or none of them. It's up to you. Cool. Any questions? Take yourselves off mute.
That was epic. Thanks, Rose.
So good.
Good?
Thanks, Rory.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you.
I'll be in contact with you soon.
Yeah. Sounds good. Doors open. Lockie, I'll see you in Bali. Paige, I'll see you on some messenger threads.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'll be knocking on that door.
Cool. All right. What about everyone else? What are you guys doing?
I'm doing a
I'm
step.
going to download Nirvana again and do the 10 questions every morning. I needed to circulate some energy with the morning routine, so this is perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect. Melanie, what do you say?
I'll be doing those rituals, the daily ones. I don't journal enough, so. But I did also manifest my partner as well. I manifested him last year, and then he came to me.
Kicking goals. Kicking goals. Connection is medicine as much as food is medicine, right?
So good.
What about you, Ellie?
I'm going to do the questions as a morning ritual. I'm more of a nighttime ritual person, so all the stuff that I do at the moment is evening ritual. Then I go to bed with that. But yeah, so I'm going to do the morning one.
You do you, man. All good. And who's that legend to the right of you?
Claire Dunn.
Hello.
Oh, hey, man. What's happening?
March, how are you?
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, sick. Cheers for listening in. It's pretty fired up. What about you? What are you going to do after this?
The daily script, like the daily writing out. I really like that. And I like downloading that just then.
Sick.
Yeah.
On Varna. Yeah, so it's the 6-phase meditation, guys, just so you know. There's heaps of other things on there. And Cal, what about you, brother? I know you don't have your video on. I'd love to see your pretty face, but you're probably out doing something.
Hey, Rocky on the 10 questions. That's happening on Varna. Already downloaded. Meditation's been strong. I don't want to just crush it. And I've already scheduled Wednesday to be making peace with my past.
Epic. All right, team. I love you and leave you. 95% is within your control. Wake up tomorrow, take your first breath, you're a miracle, and just bring these rituals into your life. And like whatever you script in that future vision, be I'm going to swear, be fucking unapologetic. Like, please don't sit here at the end of next year and like have regrets and be like, oh, it's another shit year, blame victimization. We cool with that? High five, like computer high five. Yeah, sick. All right. Peace out, legends. And I'll see you this week for your wedding, Tully and Kat.
Yay!
I'll see you
Congrats
there.
to these two. And they met through us again.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Thanks, Rory. See ya.
See you, gang.